Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. I'm your DJ and host, Sam Wilson Jr., and I'm here to bring you the history genre of black music: gospel, jazz, blues, old school classic soul, old school hip hop, today's hip hop and R&B, Caribbean, Latin, Afro-Beat, Afro-Latina, blue-eyed soul, disco, go-go, line dances, and the Lost 45s. So come with me as I take you on to a trip to the history destination genre of black music, right now on the Black Soul Music Experience Podcast. Welcome to the Black Soul Music Experience. I'm Sam Wilson Jr., and I have a special guest on my show. And this young lady that I'm about to introduce is an Afro-Beat artist. She has some new songs out which has been imported to the U.S. I got a chance to check out her videos on YouTube, which includes Wedding Day, Give It To Me, World's Best Couple, Shut It Down, Infiani, New Betty, and others. Her new LP, Unknown Tomorrow, will be streaming online soon on iTunes, and it will be here in the United States soon. So please help me welcome to my Black Soul Music Experience podcast, ladies and gentlemen, the Lioness, Miss Vivian Galaxy. Hi, Vivian. How are you?
I am fine.
Welcome to my podcast. Glad to have you here.
I'm glad to be here too.
Okay, so let us begin with our podcast because I know the world, some of the world may know who you are, but here in America, we don't. So we would like to get to know you, and we'll talk about all the other things a little bit later on in this podcast. So let us begin. Now, where were you born?
I was born in Lagos, the western part of Nigeria.
And were you...
Though, though I am from the eastern part. I'm from Anambra State, the eastern part of Nigeria. But my parents stay in Lagos, the western part, and that's where I was born.
Were your parents in the music industry, or did they have 9-to-5 day jobs?
No, they are not in the music industry. They have the normal um, 9 to 5 day job. They don't have any knowledge about what music is all about, and that is why it was kind of difficult for me, since they don't understand what their child is actually going into. So it was difficult for me because of that.
Now, which high school did you go to?
Okay, I went to Yaba College of Technology. That was my high school. No, my high school was at Queen of the Rosary College. Queen of the Rosary College, Onitsha. That's the eastern part of Nigeria. Queen of the Rosary College. That's my high school.
And which college did you go to?
The college I went to is Yaba College of Technology. That's the western part of Nigeria. That's where I did my college.
What was your major in college?
Okay, I studied business administration. Business administration in Yaba College of Technology.
And who did you want to be when you grow up?
Beyonce. Beyonce has always been my role model. I've always admired her. I've admired her energy, and it actually contributed to the kind of energy I give out on stage. Because Beyonce for life.
Was being a singer your calling?
Yeah, of course. Because, like I said, I didn't come from a family that has a knowledge of what music is all about. So they saw the signs, growing up that I was supposed to be a singer. I have a great voice. I, you know, the way I adapt to music and all. So they 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 didn't like it because their knowledge about music is people venturing into music, they are wayward people, and since they are not in the church, they wouldn't want such things associated with their child. So they made sure they try to get my mind off it. But then when something is your calling, you can't run away from it, because how my music started was um, it started like how I started writing song actually, because I normally sing, but how I started writing song was I go to bed and then I see myself, I songs are given to me, something like that. It comes through dreams or something. Then I wake up and then I record them. I write them down. That was how it actually started initially, but then gradually, I guess I don't know if it's the Holy Spirit that was tutoring me or whatever. But I feel that phase was I was being tutored spiritually or something. But then I got to a stage where I could actually be and then be inspired to write. I could just be alone and something, or I could be walking on the road and something inspires me to write a song. So that was how, when I got to that stage, the whole going to bed and then dreaming about a song or something, it stopped. It just came to me naturally. So I know music is my calling, and that was why my first album was named A Call to Serve, because it's actually my calling.
Did Nigerian radio stations in Africa play some Afro-Beat or African music or Jamaican artists or American artists?
Yeah, of course. There's all the radio station, they have to schedule their programs to bring in all genres into their programs. So it's just about scheduling. When the American songs are being played, you know, and other genres, they definitely they always fuse it in their programs to make sure they accommodate all the genres, and that is why we are able to listen and get to know about all these other songs playing around the world, because it's been scheduled in the radio stations.
Now, growing up, who was some of your favorite African, Afrobeat, or American artists?
Okay, growing up, I I've always admired Beyonce is my always my number one, and then there is Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston, I admired her a lot. J Lo, J Lo, Chris Brown. Um, then there is also Michael Jackson. I guess that Michael Jackson is most people's favorite. So Michael Jackson, and I think that's it for American music. That's it mainly. And then when you come down to our African music, then there is Davido, Tiwa Savage, Wizkid, Thames. There are people that I admire a lot. I admire them a lot, and I admire their music.
Now, who were your musical influences that had inspired you to sing?
Celine Dion. Celine Dion inspired me to sing, because I remember growing up when I was still in high school, when I sing in the class, during break time, and I sing mainly. It was actually Celine Dion songs I do sing then. It gets me, it gets attraction, to the guys. I realized that when I start singing, and it's mainly Celine Dion song, because it's Celine Dion song that will bring out the texture of your voice, and it will show the whole beauty and uniqueness of your voice. So it's many Celine Dion songs that I love singing then. So when I sing them, guys will just come around me. Ah, you have a beautiful voice. So I get attention through that. So it's through Celine Dion that I actually started singing, and then Beyonce, you know, added to my stage performance.
Now, before you got into the music industry, did you had any day jobs? And if so, what was your first day job?
Okay, I used to be a computer analyst. Before that was my first. Before I now ventured into business. I have my own personal business. I sell jewelry. So, and I still do. I still do. So music comes, I do that, and then I do my business. So
Now, please share with our audience about Afro-Beat. So, here in the United States may not know what it's about, but please share with our audience what is Afrobeat music.
okay, Afrobeat is a West African music genre fusing influences from Nigeria and Ghanaian music with American funk, hip hop, dancehall, R&B, jazz, and soul. It focuses on chanted vocals, complex intersecting rhythms, and percussion. The style was actually first pioneered in 1960s by Nigerian multi-instrumentalists and band leader Fela Kuti. He was the one that actually popularized it, Afrobeat. He was the one that popularized it both within and outside Nigeria. So that's it for Afrobeat.
Okay. Now, let's talk about your debut LP, A Call to Serve, which was released back in 2015. What is the album is all about?
Okay, A Call to Serve. Like I said, I had to go through lots of hurdles before I was able to bring out that album. So because of the background I came from, I wasn't getting any support. Even sometimes I had to hide to go and record, you know, secretly. I do my recording secretly. And that's why when I released the album, I released it into two parts. It was two-part album. It has 24 tracks, two parts. A Call to Serve, Christian, which I felt okay for me, for this album to come into realization. It's just by the grace of God. So I had to do something, Christian in that tone. So that was why it was in two parts: Christian, A Call to Serve Christian, and A Call to Serve Love and Inspirational. And then the Christian has 13 songs, while the Love and Inspirational has 11 songs. So they are all 24 tracks in that album.
Now, let's talk about your singles, The World's Best Couple, Ayoko, Give It to Me, Forever, and Nini Bedi. Those are songs that I just did the intro. Talk about your singles.
Okay, on my singles, World's Best Couple is actually um the song I did for my sister when she was about to do her wedding. Actually, I made a song for all my siblings when they were wedding, to show them, to show the family that this is actually something that it's in me. It's not like uh, I'm just doing it, because maybe someone is doing it. That it's actually something I have inside of me. So that was why I made sure I did for all my siblings. I made a song for them. Except it was just one of my siblings, my younger brother, Jerry. He was the one I did two songs for during her wedding, and during his wedding, and that was why, and it was because of his support. Because the first recording I did, the first recording song I recorded, it was his money. He supported me financially, and he really tried for me at that initial stage. So I felt okay, let me do something exceptional for him to show that okay, he actually supported me lots of tremendously. So he was the only one I did two songs for, and that was Jerry and Wedding Day. Wedding Day was for him, and then Jerry. Then World's Best Couple was for my sister, and when you look at the cover of World's Best Couple, it's my sister and the husband that I used for the cover of World's Best Couple. And then Iyogo is also my brother. My brother, that one was also featured. And when you look at the video, when you watch the video of Iyogo, my brother and the wife, they acted the video, the drama that came with the song on Iyogo. Then Forever is also for one of my brother. Their name, Ogonna and Amanda, their name was fused into that song. So then Nenu Berdi is just a random song I did, okay, a single. I just felt, okay, let me bring out this because it was actually for couples, but the song has this energetic sound that when you listen to it you would definitely want to dance. So that's it for Ninu Bed. And then Give It To Me was also a song that came naturally, and I did a great video for it, a very good video for Give It To Me, very lovely song. So I think that's all for my singles, right?
Yes.
Yeah. The other ones are EP. I have EP.
Okay.
Yeah, I have 4
E-
tracks.
Okay. Now, speaking of EP, let's talk about your EP because I'm trying to get used to LP, but now I'm looking at EP. Talk about your EP, The Galaxy, which was released back in 2020.
Yeah, my EP. My EP came when I met this new producer, and he was so good. He actually brought out a different part of me. Because when you listen to that EP, you will see a different Vivian Galaxy on that EP. So, so it was actually different sound, different, everything about it was different. So I felt, okay, let me do something, some songs with this guy because it's actually very good, top age. So that was what made me to bring out those songs that was produced by top 8 on my EP. The songs on that EP, the Galaxy EP, is End, Robo, Sheltered Down, Pom Pom. Those 4 songs. When you listen to the song, the producer brought out a different, very different Vivian Galaxy on that EP.
Now, your latest LP, Unknown Tomorrow, how many tracks did you write or produce?
Yeah, Unknown Tomorrow. My latest is 14 tracks. There are 14 tracks, Unknown Tomorrow, and it was actually a different producer too that produced that album. And the good thing about me is, I guess when I work with someone different, it brings out a different me. That's why you can't be listening to this song by Vivian Galaxy, and then when you listen to another one, they won't. Sometimes you'll be wondering if it's the same artist that sang this song, because they just bring out. I keep evolving into something else. So that in Unknown Tomorrow, the songs there are also from a different album, a different producer, and then a different Vivian Galaxy also showcased on that album.
Now, here's a question that I always ask my guests. Living or dead, who are some of your favorite artists that you wish you want to meet or to perform with?
Okay, my number one, Beyonce. I would love to perform with her on stage. And then that energy that, through her I was able to get the energy I use to perform. We can actually showcase the energy on stage together. Then Whitney Houston. I love her voice, the pitch, and I have such pitch also on my music. So I would love to, I would have loved to work with her. And then Celine Dion, she was the one that gave me, made me, have lots of attention as a young girl. Her song. So I would also want to work with her. I want to do something with Celine Dion. Yeah, I think those three. Yeah.
Okay. Now, here on the Black Soul Music Experience, I always ask my guests who are the top 10 R&B black artists of all time. So, Vivian, since you are my guest, I'm about to have you bring in your favorites. It's the top 10 R&B black and Afro-Beat artists of all time. Now, here's how it works. We do it like a top 10 countdown. We start at number 10 of who is the best singer but didn't get any recognition. Then we work our way up to the top 5 and we find out who was the best artist of all time. Did that artist have their top 10 hits, their number one hits? Did that artist receive a gold or platinum or double platinum or triple platinum or diamond platinum? Did that artist receive a Grammy or an American Music Award or a BET Award or a Soul Train Award or an MTV VMA Award? Or did that artist was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Did that artist performed on Soul Train, American Bandstand, The Midnight Special, or NBC's Saturday Night Live? Or did that artist performed on any primetime special, whether it was on CBS or NBC or ABC? Or did they had that special on PBS during Pledge Month? Or were they all on great performances on PBS? Or did they perform somewhere on the BBC? Or, yes, did they performed on any live concert specials on HBO or Showtime? So, Vivian, I'm going to get you to the test on the challenge on the R&B black and Afrobeat artist of all time. Are you ready to take that challenge, Vivian?
Yes, I am. I am ready.
Okay. All right, who should be at number 10?
Okay, I'll go with Jordan Spark. The song she did with with Chris Brown, No Air. That song was a great hit, super hit. So I think Jordan Spark.
Ah, Jordan Sparks. Yes, we know her. That was one of the American Idol winners. So we know who she is. She's made her debut single called No Air, duet with Chris Brown. And we can put Jordan Sparks, one of our best singers and American Idol alums. We'll put her at number 10. All right, who should be at number 9?
Okay, number 9. Let me come back to Nigeria. Wizkid.
Ah, Kid, yes. When I first heard him back in 2020 during the summertime when most of the black radio stations here in America, we was trying to figure out what is this Afro-Beat. So when I heard his song called Essence with a duet with Thames, I say that was a top 10 hit in the United States. So we can put Kid at number 9. All right, who should be at number 8?
Okay, number 8. Thames.
Ah,
Thames.
yes, Thames. We just mentioned Thames with the duet with Kid called Essence. And I got a chance to check out some of her new singles during this past summer. And we know that Thames would be an upcoming artist. So we'll put Thames at number 8. All right, who should be at number 7?
Number 7. J Lo. J Lo.
Ah, the one and only Jennifer Lopez. We know her as J-Lo. She is a singer. She is an actress, and she was a former Fly Girl dancer on In Living Color on Fox, and she joined in season 3. And yes, she was one of the Fly Girls, and yes, she went on to stardom, went to acting and then singing. And yes, she made a couple of her hits back then. Ready for Tonight, Jenny on the Block, just to name a few. So we can put Jennifer Lopez, aka J-Lo, at number 7. And by the way, she's best remembered for that almost see-through green dress that she wore at the 2000 Grammy Awards. So she's best known for that. So we'll put J-Lo at number 7.
Number
All right, who
6.
should be at number 6?
J Lo is 6. J Lo
Oh,
is 6.
J-Lo at 6? So who let's say
Yeah.
at number... Oh,
10. Jordan Sparks.
okay. 9 was
9.
Kid.
8. Thames.
Uh-huh.
Okay, 7. Oh, okay. J Lo is 7.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, J Lo is
Who...
7. You're right.
Yes. Who
Okay,
should be
then
number 6?
number 6. I'll come back to Nigeria. Tiwa Savage.
Ah, Tiwa Savage. Yes, I've heard of her, and I got a chance to download a couple of her songs. Wonderful hits. Most of the songs that I played for season 2 on my Black Soul Music Experience podcast. They did a Afro-Beat episode, and she has wonderful hits, including the duet with singer and actress Brandy. So we can put Tiwa Savage at number 6. All right, who should be at number 5?
David O. David O.
Davido,
Nigeria.
number 5. When he came out back in 2019, when I heard his debut single, Fall, on the black radio stations in the United States, once again, I was getting hooked to that song. Yes, that Afrobeat was still kicking, and Afrobeat was introduced here in the United States, especially here on the East Coast. When I'm going out to different clubs, many of the people that I was doing the DJ gigs, many people been asking for that song. And also his follow-up was called If. So we can put Davido at number 5. Okay, who should be at number 4?
Number 4. Chris Brown.
Yes, Chris Brown, number 4. He made his debut back in 1996 with his debut song, Excuse Me Miss. And he had a string of hits back in the 90s. And when I saw him perform on the MTV VMAs and the BET Awards, when he does his dance on stage, his influence was Michael Jackson. And that was his influence. He performed on stage, his dancing techniques, and everything. So we can put Chris Brown at number 4. Okay, who should be at number 3?
Number 3. Whitney Houston.
Yes, the Princess of Pop, the late Whitney Houston, made her debut back in 1985 with a duet from the late Teddy Pendergrass. And her debut LP made its debut in the spring of 1985. It had sold over 1 million copies in print with her hits You Give Good Love, Saving All My Love, How Will I Know, and the remake of The Greatest Love of All. All of them were top 10 hits, some were number one hits. She received a Grammy Award as Best New Artist at the 1986 Grammy Awards, and she also won an American Music Award for Best New Artist, also at the 1986 American Music Awards. She was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for the class of 2020. She can sing, she can act. She is best known for her movies, including Waiting to Exhale and the remake of The Preacher's Wife. And yes, she made some TV appearances on NBC's Silver Spoons and on NBC's Saturday Night Live. So rest in peace to the Princess of Pop, the late Whitney Houston, at number 3. All right, who should be at number 2?
Michael Jackson should enter my list. Michael Jackson.
The
Because
king
it's
of
one after
pop.
died. Yeah.
Yes, the king of pop, the late Michael Jackson. He was the best performer, and he made his debut 1969 along with his brothers with their hits I Want You Back, ABC, The Love You Save, Never Can Say Goodbye, Dancing Machine when they were on Motown from 1969 to 1975 and switched over to CBS Records. They were known as the Jacksons, so Jermaine was still at Motown, so they brought Randy on, and they had a string full of hits during the 70s. And yes, they had their own variety summer series on CBS, along with their sisters, Janet and Rebe and LaToya. And yes, he went on his own breakout solo hits, including Off the Wall, Thriller, Bad, Dangerous, just to name a few. He's been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame twice with his brothers back in 1997 and on solo in 2001. So rest in peace to the king of pop, the late Michael Jackson. All right, who should be at number 1?
Number 1, my Beyonce.
Yes, the one and
Number
only,
1.
yes. Beyonce, yes. Beyonce started out in 1997 with become a member of Destiny's Child. She broke out on her own in 2003 with her solo hits Crazy, In Love, Deja Vu. She has struck gold with all of her hits, number 1 hits on Billboard's Hot 100 Pop Singles Charts, R&B and Hip Hop Singles Charts. And yes, she had hits after hit after hit. She did a little acting here and there in the movie The Fighting Temptations and some TV appearances on NBC Saturday Night Live. And yes, she broke ground with a country album called Cowboy Carter, number 1 hit on Billboard's Top 200 Album Charts, and also number 1 on Billboard's Country Album Charts. And yes, she is from Houston, Texas, and she had her country single called Daddy's Lessons from her LP Lemonade, and yes, she performed it with the Chicks, better known as the Dixie Chicks back then. So hats off to Beyonce. We have her there at number 1. Well, Vivian, it's a pleasure to have you here on the Black Soul Music Experience podcast. Thank you so much for taking the time out to be with me as I interview you from the motherland of Nigeria in Africa, and I'm here in the NYC on the East Coast in the USA. Thank you so much for taking the time out, and please come on back. We would love to have you, and any more singles, we would love to have you back.
You're welcome.
Okay, but before we go, where can we follow you for any upcoming events, and where can we follow you on social media?
Okay, I'm on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. Just search for Vivian Galaxy. I'm on Twitter at Vivian Galaxy. So when you search for Vivian Galaxy on any platform, I'll definitely pop up. So just follow me on all social media.
Okay. Alrighty. Thank you so much. Download all the artists that we have talked about on this edition of the Black Soul Music Experience podcast. Visit iTunes.com, Spotify.com, or purchase the CD at Amazon.com. And make sure you follow Vivian Galaxy. Go to her website at VivianGalaxy.net. Follow her on Facebook, Instagram, and make sure you check out all of her singles streaming on iTunes. And also check out her videos streaming online right now on YouTube. And ladies and gentlemen, if you want to check out this interview, please subscribe by going to the link. The link is riverside.fm/studio/Samuel-Wilson Jr.'s, don't forget the add the S to the end, -studio. And yes, I will be posting this episode on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter. And please pass it on. Thank you for joining me as I close out this edition of the Black Soul Music Experience. Well, that's about it for this edition of the Black Soul Music Experience podcast. I'm Sam Wilson Jr. Thank you for joining me, and please tune in next week for an all-new episode. The Black Soul Music Experience podcast is sponsored by the support of listeners like you. If you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe by going to riverside.fm/studio/Samuel-Wilson Jr.'s -studio. And don't forget to check out my audio podcast episodes by becoming a member and subscribe to patreon.com/the Black Soul Music Experience podcast. And also check out my video podcast episodes by subscribing to youtube.com/the Black Soul Music Experience podcast. And please leave your comments, feedbacks, and replies by going to my Facebook homepage. Visit facebook.com/the Black Soul Music Experience podcast. And you can also tweet me on X, aka Twitter, at Sam Wilson Jr. 66. As always, parting, remember this: reach for the top and your dreams will come true, and it can happen to you. From all of us, take care, God bless. Thanks for listening, have a good week, and please be safe.